Witam Państwa bardzo, bardzo serdecznie. Nazywam się Andrzej Szwan i moje życie jak gdyby artystyczne zaczęło się 60 kilka lat temu. Natomiast jeżeli chodzi o marzenia takie artystyczne, to coś się po drodze maleńkiego działo. Były jakieś takie pomysły na teatrzyk domowy. Zagraliśmy Moralność pani Dulskiej raz w zestawie, nazwijmy to, koedukacyjnym, a drugi spektakl po latach był zagrany także Moralność pani Dulskiej, ale już w wykonaniu aktorów, amatorów, gejów. I tak się dalszy los ciągle marzeń artystycznych spełniał. A jeżeli chodzi o przyszłość, to na pewno ciągle oczekuje nawet człowiek, który już jest zaliczany do grupy seniorów, na coś jeszcze ciekawego, a może coś przez zaskoczenie fajnego i emocjonalnego, o czym się nie myślało. Drodzy Państwo, w Toronto, tak jak w Warszawie, seniorzy pewno będą w różny sposób odbierać film Boylesque. Ja mam nadzieję, że Państwo odbiorą to z równie sobie ważnymi momentami swojego życia, a ja Państwa serdecznie pozdrawiam, bo uważam, że seniorom jak zwykle należy się i niby u schyłku, ale może jeszcze dalszym, długim życiu wiele, wiele ciekawych, radosnych zaskoczeń, chwil. I tymi słowami żegnam Państwa z Warszawy, życząc wszystkim seniorom również tam wspaniałych doznań, wspaniałych przygód i pozdrawiam serdecznie.
I'm John Greyson. I'm a Toronto filmmaker who works primarily dealing with making queer films. So it's a delight to engage with Bogna today. Welcome Bogna today to this discussion. Bogna is the producer-director of Boylesque. And Bogna, I want to say first, congratulations on this extraordinary film. Incredibly moving, quite subtle. And of course, you premiered at Toronto 2022 Hot Docs Film Festival here in Toronto, where you won the Emerging International Filmmaker Award. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
He's born in, I believe, 1939. And so he grew up a baby through the war years. And then through that whole extraordinary period of, Poland under Soviet Union, and then through into the post-Soviet era. But you've made a very interesting decision, even though we get beautiful hints about that long stretch of history. You insist on telling the story very much in his present, his story today. Why did you make that decision?
The answer is complicated and simple at once. It's simple because, if I would meet you, first question that pops in my mind is not like what kind of life you lived. Past is important. Obviously, it is important. Like you have thousands of people in therapy trying to do with past, it's important. But I have this huge problem with this ageism. I feel is woven into us almost. We have this grayish hair, and then we suddenly, okay, this human is an archive now. Tell me how it was. It's very bizarre if you think about it, and it goes both ways. We go to this people who are in certain age. We ask them about how it was. This is how we give them attention. They really need attention, as all of us. We all need attention. So they have. And they usually have stories that they're told hundreds times. So they have really well written stories, I'd say. And they repeat that and they feel this is their value and their only value. And it's, the cycle repeats itself until you don't even know that these people have other things to do.
I think one of the strongest impressions coming out of Lulla is his back and forth between he's planning his memorial urn, this extraordinary urn, and it actually arrives in the package, and it's an amazing moment, and it's an amazing urn, no question. But it goes back and forth, and you beautifully tell the story of it going back and forth between him cruising on I think the site is not Grindr, but Fellow, is that right? Here's the question from Montreal. It was lovely seeing the Pride Parade scenes in the film. And I believe the Pride Parade scenes are both in Berlin. We see Lulla and friends get on the train to Berlin. And so is it Pride in Berlin as well as Pride in Warsaw? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's Berlin and then Warsaw.
Yeah. And then here's the question. Can Bogna speak about the role of sound in the film in the form of its soundtrack and its silences, both of which I found very poignant? And I'll echo that, particularly the music, your use of music. So, yeah.
Yeah, you see, I'm excited about this question, of course. Well, half of this music we wrote, which is, I think, unbelievable. I'm so proud of, our composer and the guys that he brought with him, because, well, the point is that I had this idea, drag and music goes together. There's no point, no question about it. But my idea was to make this performative part with real life stories, kind of, and make it dreamy, musically. I wanted to make this weird kind of mixture of everything, and then we needed music, obviously. So when you hear the lyrics and they are surprisingly well fitted to what we watch, is because we wrote these songs. We actually wrote these songs. We had this mellow kind of indie vibe that we tried to go to just. And also Wojtek Frycz, who is an amazing composer, he invited Gen Z musicians, which was also important for me because I wanted to make it very intergenerational, as Lulla is. And another thing I need to say is that it will be on Spotify. The point is that we now have some paperwork to sign with HBO and whatever, but it will be on Spotify. So if anyone is interested in these songs, they will be there. And you can simply find us on Instagram, like Boylesque underline film.
Zaciekawiłeś mnie. Ja szukam maskotki, zabawki, syna, wnuka, psa, świni, cfela, mastera, tylko pełnowymiarowego i ciepłokrwistego partnera, który nie boi się bliskości. Ideolog.
Finally I found you wandering my way. Your cheeks, your eyes, your smile, that's all it takes.
Ciągle myślę, że jeszcze się coś może zdarzyć.
Ja mam nadzieję, że się już nic nie zdarzy.
W moim życiu,
Oj.
a ja mówię o swoim. Why? Ja mam 50 lat od was więcej. Zdajcie sobie z tego sprawę.
Never let someone so close again.
Maciek mi po prostu zazdrościł, jak to określa stara gwardia, wszystkiego, mojej chęci pójścia na wódkę, do kabaretu, do szaleństwa jakiegoś. Bo Lulla to, bo Lulla ma 100 kochanków, bo mówił to jak gdyby z pretensją. No mnie tam się podoba nawet. I daje ile gwiazdek, zobacz.
2.
2.